Hello everyone, this is Ronnie Henson here, Southwest Oklahoma. Thought I'd make a video today of some of my favorite crappie lures and bluegill lures. These micro jigs that I make are really easy to do, and I'm going to show you how I do it. And it's way better than sliding a plastic little Bobby Garland jigs up on there and they come off, and then you tie string around it and super glue it and all that other crazy stuff. Today we're going to make some really small jigs, 1/32 of an ounce and 1/64 of an ounce. And I'm going to use turkey feathers right here. And also I have some bucktail hair right here, bucktail jigs, except they're going to be micro jigs for super monster bluegills. We have the first full moon, and this is May. With the first full moon, so the bluegill are going up on bed, and I'm talking the big bluegill. They're as big as your hand or bigger, and what they like is I've got the 4 jigs that you saw at the beginning of this are my favorite jigs that I slay them with when they're on bed, and that's what we're going to make. These tools that I have here, I didn't buy them, I just made them. I got a pair of vice grips holding a little clamp. I put the crappie jig in. I made this little thing right here. This is a steel brake line, and this is just a piece of metal that I bent and tack welded to that so that the thread can come through the end of it, like that right there. And the thread, you pick the thread up at Dollar General store. This is $3.50, and it gives you every color that you could possibly need. And if there's not enough colors in this right here, look over right beside it, and then they have this for $1 that has the other colors in there, which I like the yellow when I'm making a white shad color one. But this is $1. The other one was $3.50. The turkey feathers are free. The bucktail is free. I shoot deer every year, so I keep all the tails and the hide and the fur. You can use squirrel. You can use whatever you want to use to put the feathers or whatever on. You're going to need a little dab of super glue. You're going to need a pair of scissors. You're going to need this little tool right here. And what I use this little tool right here for is that when I'm putting the thread through here, what I do is I insert this through here. I put the thread through there, and then I pull the thread through. It just makes it a lot easier to get the thread through and get it started. And that's basically all we have right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to set this up. I'm going to pause this for a second, and then I'm going to get started on this, and I'm going to show you how to tie one. Only takes a few minutes to tie one, and you guys can do this at home. You can save yourself a bunch of money. It's fun, and these things on 2-pound test line with ultralight will absolutely kill the shell cracker, the red ear, the bluegill, the perch, the warmouth, and occasionally crappie. If you want to do this same thing with a bigger jig for crappie, it works. And that white one that I have on there with a little bit of yellow string at the beginning of the video, that is my favorite crappie lure. That thing just absolutely kills them. So anyhow, let me rearrange this camera here, and we'll get started tying one. Right here is my little setup. Nothing fancy. Pair of vice grips with a C-clamp welded to it, clamped to a table with a pair of needle nose pliers. And what I do is I just take the little crappie jig right here, and I'm going to tell you right now on this deal right here, you want to make sure that when you're doing this that hook is facing down, because what will happen is you'll reach over and grab something, and when you come back you'll bury that hook up in your arm. You see that hole right there? I reached over the table, I had the hook facing up, and when I drug my arm back across it, oh, it was ugly. I had to take a pair of needle nose pliers and snatch that out of there. Anyhow, let's get this deal done. You know, this Corona COVID-19 stuff has got me locked in, so I'm just coming up with different things to do to keep me busy. So let's go ahead and start with the black. We're going to make a solid black one with a little bit of brown in it. You're going to start off with about 10 inches of string right here on this, and this feeds in as you wrap it around there. You're going to put just a couple of wraps around here at the beginning, just to hold the string in place. Make sure that you leave a tang. You see this tang right here? Leave that tang about 6 or 8 inches, because that's what we're going to use to be tying. And then you can just let that set once you get a couple of wraps started on that. You want to make sure that that's squeezed real good so it doesn't come off. I'm going to take my turkey feather. I'm going to figure out which one of these I want and what color I want, because as you can see, you got camouflage looking brown and blacks. I want to do basically a black. For some reason, they really are loving the black. So what I'm going to do is, and it don't take much. You don't have to have a whole lot here to make this thing work right. And the hook part is facing down. So I cut that off right there. I have that piece right there that I'm going to put on there, and then I can come back and trim it after I get it all on there. So we're going to bunch that up right there. We're going to stick this up on the top of the back of the jig. We're just going to start a couple of wraps on here just to get this thing held in place so you're not wrestling it around. And once you do that, then you can kind of jock it back into position. And you want this on the bottom of the jig like so. And then once I get that done right there, you'll have to hold it a couple of times till this thing gets going good. And then you get enough string around it, and then you're good to go. And then this is all there is to it. And then you just twist it around, keep it straight. And what I like to do is, while I'm doing this, I kind of look at it and then it takes on its own shape, and I'll come up here to the head and I'll make it pretty thick. And then as I work my way to the back, I start tapering it down, because it seems like the jig works really better in the water when you do that. And only come to about this far on the hook, about halfway on the hook right there. And right now I'm getting about as thick as I really want it, because I want this thing light. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to come back up here to where my tang end is, this part right here, and then I'm going to pull this down. I'm going to get my scissors. I'm going to cut that off. Now I have two tang ends right here. All I'm going to do is tie these. No special equipment, doesn't cost you anything. And this is kind of fun to do when you're out here. Just make you a couple of loop knots in this, because we're going to come back with a little dab of super glue. Once you got that to where it just holds the string in place, come up here with your scissors. Snip that off as close as you can. Unlock this. Turn this thing around to where the knot was. Lock it back up. Get your super glue. And we're going to put one big dab of super glue right there where the knot is. That's it. That's all you need to do. Let that set for just a second. And while that's setting for a second, I'm going to work this feather right here and make sure that I like it and where it's at. And I do. I like that a lot. I'm not going to have any brown on this one, because I want this one solid black right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to trim it. And then I'm going to see how long that is. And I'm thinking, okay, that may be a little long right there. Can you see that? So I'm going to thin it down just a little bit more. I'm going to come back this way. And I'm going to thin it. I'm going to cut it one more time. Now I like that right there. That's about the size that I'm looking for right there. So let me open this up, show you what we got right here. This is what we're looking at right here. And that's really all there is to it. And you can kind of experiment with that to see, but that little jig right there, guys, I'm just telling you, that they will be all over this right here. Now when you fish this, I fish this on an ultralight with 2-pound test line. And I don't use any weight. I don't use anything. I just cast it out there with a spinning reel with an ultralight rod. And let me just tell you right now that when you go out there, you're gonna slay them. A pack of these jigs right here might cost you $1.49 at the Academy or Dick's or one of the sporting goods stores around there. But anyhow, if you guys like this video, please hit the like and subscribe button if you would. It helps me. And I'm not a professional at this, and I just made some jicky homemade stuff here to tie these, but it's so simple to do that I thought I'd pass this on to you guys. and you don't have to go out there and spend dollars and dollars on the rubber and the plastic and stuff, because this don't come apart, man. You can fish one of these forever unless you hang it up and lose it. That hook size right there, I'm thinking it's about a 10. This is a real light one. And you can see these other ones that I have right here. This is a killer one right here for crappie. I'm just telling you right now, this particular one right there for crappie is just absolutely deadly. I've got it all white with a little bit of yellow. You can barely see a little bit of yellow in there. And then I got my little red devil right here. This one here, if the bluegill and the shell cracker don't like the solid black and they want to tad a bit of red, that one right there, gentlemen, will just absolutely kill them. But anyhow, I won't waste any more of you guys' time, and I hope this was beneficial to you. And go pick you up a pack of crappie jigs. Get 1/32 and 1/64. You're going to spend maybe $3 max, and look for you some turkey feathers or bird feathers, or pull some hair out of your dog's tail or your cat, or however you can get it, and go make you some of these crappie jigs and try them out. You'll be surprised at how awesome this is. Anyhow, thank you so much, and I appreciate it. And tight lines, man. Hope you guys catch a bunch of fish. Leave me some comments. Thank you.